the left. The left never ceases to amaze me with their level of lunacy. This is Ruben Obed transmitting for episode 60 of the Ruben Obed Show, and the title is The Left Lunacy Strikes Again with Cultural Appropriation. What's going on, basically? I watched an episode of Tucker Carlson where he was interviewing this liberal Sherpa. And there was a girl that went to prom, and she wore this Chinese Oriental style Asian dress for the prom. It looked really nice, really nice dress. And clearly the girl wore it for, because she wanted attention at the prom. Like every other girl goes to the prom and takes pictures and uploads it on Twitter, But then, now, it went viral. They said that she wore a dress, and the dress is racist. The dress is, and that she was racist, and she wore a racist dress. Now, I mean, seriously, a racist dress. I mean, is the liberal lunacy at that degree? A racist dress. It was really nice red dress, Asian, dress. And the argument of the lady is that she wasn't, trying to learn about that culture. She was appropriating that culture. She wasn't embracing that culture, and that people were offended and people were hurt because she wore that dress. It goes to show you the lunacy of the left, because they talk so much about diversity. They talk about so much about uniting the classes of people and welcome the Muslims and welcome this and welcome that, and that Trump is the devil because he has a ban on Muslims. But then a girl wears an Asian dress, and they call it cultural appropriation, and they say that she's racist. So it's like, left, what the hell? Figure it out. You either want us to embrace diversity or you want segregation. But then if you have segregation, then you're racist. But then if you adopt the diversity and embrace the diversity and go to the prom with it, a white girl wearing an Asian dress, oh, now it's cultural appropriation. Those are the Democrats that many of you vote for. Those are the left-inclined liberals that you guys vote for and that you guys criticize Trump about. The level of lunacy is like at subatomic, explosion levels. I mean, it's just, what the hell is going on? The left should be happy that this girl wore this dress, because you know what? That girl, she goes viral in representation of this lovely Asian Chinese style dress. That's good. That's a good thing. There's nothing better than seeing a Puerto Rican eating, Polish food, or an Indian guy eating some Puerto Rican rice and beans, or a white guy eating some tacos from Mexico. I think, and let me tell you, and I'm a Republican, I think that's beautiful. I love culture. I like different cultures. I like embracing different cultures. But now, all of a sudden, this girl wears a Chinese dress, and now that's cultural appropriation. So, in other words, what you're telling me is that right now, if you got somebody from the Middle East and they have their own Learjet, let's call that cultural appropriation, because we all know planes were invented by the Wright brothers, So I guess, why don't the finger get pointed over there for cultural appropriation? Or how about the fact that I saw a whole bunch of Toyota trucks and ISIS were driving the Toyota trucks over there? You know what I'm saying? Cultural appropriation again. Maybe I've seen terrorists using drones which are made by the company DJI, which is Chinese. I guess that's cultural appropriation. And I guess that we got to eliminate Taco Bell, because that's cultural appropriation. I guess, white people, I'm sorry, man, but don't export jeans anywhere else. because if genes were born in the USA, that you send them somewhere else, that's cultural appropriation. People get offended. I mean, seriously. Also, in other words, the Buddhists can't send their Buddhist literature over here because white people and Hispanics, we can't be Buddhists because that is also cultural appropriation. I mean, seriously. So then what do you do if you're half white and half Chinese? Then what are you, a heretic according to the left? Or are you allowed in that case to have appropriate both cultures because you're half white and half, you see the Chinese businessman and wearing a tie and a suit. That's Western. That's Western. So are the Chinese taking part in cultural appropriation? The left makes no freaking sense. I mean, every single time I hear arguments from the left, they just make no damn sense. This isn't even about Trump. This is about how is it that we have a group of people who make absolutely no sense. Cultural appropriation. Then they said, oh yeah, because the girl, she wanted to get her little 10 minutes of fame on Twitter, on Facebook. That's what social media is about. That's what it's about. That it's about getting your little 10 minutes of fame and you taking your selfies and throwing it out there. I don't get it. So okay, so then the left, what's the next step? We got to tell the Mexicans they can't eat hamburgers. Mexicans, you cannot eat hamburgers officially because according to the Democratic Party and the liberal left, you cannot eat hamburgers because that is Western and you guys are supposed to eat tacos only. Yep. Eat tacos only. You will not, because that is, white people will get offended if you eat hamburgers, Mexicans. So stick to the tacos and the white people will only eat hamburgers and fish sticks because the left says that if you do that, then it's cultural appropriation. I don't know what the hell, it's preposterous, man. It's preposterous. Let me tell you, man, I've been living in Puerto Rico since 2003, and I wasn't raised in Puerto Rico. I was born in Puerto Rico. I moved out of here when I was 3 years old, and I lived all my life in the States, and I moved to Puerto Rico when I was about 26, 27 years old. So I was already a grown man with a divorce on my belt. You know what I'm saying? And here in Puerto Rico, most of the news, I would say maybe 95% of the news is left inclined. So, I've been hearing left inclined rhetoric since 2003. Why am I not influenced by the rhetoric? Why? Because I use my own brain. Because I've actually lived in the States. I actually understand English. See, I don't have to go by what Univision or Telemundo says. No, because I can actually hear the president's words and I understand it in the native tongue. So I am not subject to the interpretation that they want to bring. My wife, I use her as a perfect example. My wife speaks absolutely no English at all. None, zilch whatsoever. So a lot of times when Trump was speaking during the campaign, she'd be here in the studio and I'd be talking. Basically, as he spoke, I was translating to her. And I am a very good translator. I'm very fluent in Spanish. I'm very fluent in English. So, I do an excellent job translating verbatim and transmitting the actual message, And every time my wife had the same reaction as me. I remember she used to tell me, that's correct. Then if that's what Trump said, then that he's right. All the time. It wasn't that she was like, sucking up to me or nothing. I mean, we'd be watching TV and I'm here translating. Look, this is what he said. This is what he said. Then when she would see in Univision them say the contrary, she would say, hold up, but that's not what he said. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, the left is retarded, man. The left is, in fact, I'm gonna go out and say it. If you're a Democrat, you're retarded. You need medication. You're delusional if you're a Democrat. You know, I wouldn't have said this maybe 10 years back, but as of right now, Democratic Party, if you're Democratic Party, if you're liberal left, you are retarded. You are retarded. You are mentally ill if you are from the liberal left. You are mentally ill. You are delusional, and you need like Prozac or Xanax or some kind of medication, some electroshock therapy or something, because the lack of common sense emanating from the left is like a foul stench of feet just flying in there. You just smell the feet. It smells like toe fungus and shit. Lunacy, lunacy. I mean, like total lunacy, ridiculousness. You know, So that girl isn't allowed to wear a dress. What the hell? If I want to right now, if I want to put on a freaking Mexican poncho and shit and a fucking hat and start singing Mexican music, I'm allowed to. I can. I'm Puerto Rican, but yeah, I'll do whatever the hell I want to do. You know, that's not cultural appropriation. Like, what does the word appropriation mean? Well, to appropriate, to take as your own and stick it in your pocket. Practically appropriation, it's considered stealing, really. You can't steal a culture. You can't steal a damn culture. So cultural appropriation doesn't even exist because you can't steal it. You know what I mean? Just I don't know, man. I don't even know what the hell to say anymore. All I'm gonna tell everybody: vote for Trump in 2020. Vote for Trump because this is ridiculous, man. Vote for Trump because the left, the retarded, man. It must be the vaccines. Must be the vaccines. We live in a world of idiots. Of like, in fact, I don't even want to insult retarded people by comparing them to Democrats. That's an insult to people who are retarded. I don't know what the hell Democrats are anymore. What the hell are they? Because they're not human. They're not human. I think they're like, no, I can't compare them to leeches. I would compare them maybe to. You know what I think? People from the liberal left, they're like herpes. I think that'd be the closest analogy. They're a herpes, that just is there and sometimes like disappears and you think everything's safe and then boom, it pops up again, and it itches and it